Be careful, people get pretty heated about this stuff.
Halo uncharted backwards compatibility, superior Japanese engineering.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 controversial video game topics.
Many people may rail against the emerging microtransaction trend, but in and of itself, I don't actually think it's a bad thing.
For this list, we cast our eye on the subjects that generate the most discussion and are newsworthy in a way that affects people in the real world or the way they consume video games. We're not saying that any of these topics are right or wrong, and we're not taking sides, just that people feel really strongly about them.
Haters gonna hate.
Number 10, Free-to-Play.
Do you want to come and play? Game of War. Play for free now from the App Store.
Freemium games are everywhere. Whether it's MOBAs, mobile MMOs, first-person shooters, or even side-scrolling brawlers, you can find something to suit you and you don't necessarily need to shell out a penny. It seems like a great deal at first. Games like Dirty Bomb offer an experience that could rival any AAA title, but the system becomes problematic when the adverts to buy something become too aggressive, or buying extra content is the only feasible way to progress through a game. Games like Game of War Fire Age perhaps go too far towards intrusive marketing, but games like Punch Quest, which is awesome by the way, aren't profitable due to offering too much free content. Remember when you thought your new shiny smartphone would revolutionize gaming on the go? We'll tell you the answer to that, but it'll take 12 hours or 5 green gems.
Let them have their fun. You and I will revisit them soon enough.
Number 9, pre-order bonuses. You don't order a game early just to make sure you get your copy on release day anymore. It's all about those juicy incentives that those who wait to buy a game on an informed decision won't receive.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
They are a great way to potentially get early access to a title, or for some unique gifts, but they also might entice you into buying a game that could very well be broken or just generally bad. So maybe all you've really done by pre-ordering is get in the front of the line to watch the servers crash on launch night. Publishers generally do it to get sales off to a good start, but it could be perceived that they are benefiting from the hype that surrounds the release of huge games and trying to profit from a game they might know to be not very good.
Everyone gets to select one reward from each tier, as well as the ultimate prize. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Released 4 days early.
Number 8, Season Passes.
Christ, what was that? Something big. LAPD, hands up!
Rockstar actually began this trend with LA Noire in 2011, and now almost every AAA publisher offers all their DLC and extra content in one big bundle.
Unlock all 3 expansions along with extra VIP benefits with the Season Pass.
It certainly takes the pressure away from keeping up with what a game offers after release, but the features within these packages can often be ambiguous or not even revealed for months after it's available for purchase.
Not funny.
Probably the biggest issue here is that it gives gamers the impression, often rightly so, that you're cutting your game in half in order to sell it for double the price, piece by piece. Worse still, since most companies deficit finance their products, many AAA games are built to depend on the extra cash infusion given to them by their Season Pass DLC, meaning that this is quickly becoming an intractable part of the industry as a whole. Number 7, Always Online DRM.
Here, let me open the gate.
This system forces you to always be connected to the internet and is designed to prevent video game piracy, but may end up punishing the majority for the behavior of a law-breaking minority.
And soon all will suffer as I have suffered.
It makes sense for multiplayer titles like Battlefield and Destiny, where online multiplayer is the game's main component. But with classic franchises like Diablo and SimCity, many people never really wanted online play to begin with, so sacrificing their single-player experience because the servers are down is understandably infuriating.
Welcome to the clan, brother. Trading up.
Plus, at the end of the day, evidence on the impact of piracy on the games industry is conflicting, making the implementation of such a service contentious at best.
Use whatever tool you want, honestly. Just put them back where you found them. Other than that, knock yourself out.
Number 6. Early access.
Steam does require honesty from developers in the marketing of their games. We have removed Earth Year 2066 from early access on Steam. Customers who purchase the game will be able to get a refund on the store page until Monday, May 19th.
This model is often employed by small developers to get financial support for their unfinished game, while also having free bug testing and a huge swath of feedback from the people you're trying to please. But it's a gamble, plain and simple.
There we go. Debugging in runtime, it's very efficient.
The Stomping Land was meant to be a dinosaur-themed survival game and received more than $100K in donations, but it never came to a full release, leaving its supporters out of pocket. This inherently risky system can lead to success for niche genres and create big names like the Kerbal Space Program and Ark Survival Evolved, both of which have become huge from very humble beginnings. But it's not always great. Because of the evolving nature of these games, some publishers have enraged their supporters with patches and updates that don't jive with the community. So, next time you see a do not recommend Steam review from someone who has over 527 hours of gameplay, now you know why.
While Earth Year 2066 may be an example of how the system can be abused, Early Access has also helped to pre-launch many runaway successes like Daisy Standalone, which has racked up 2 million sales during its first 6 months available as part of the program.
Number 5. Branded review deals.
The publisher of the game had threatened to pull advertising money. It's probably key to note that that's actually not, that happens a fair amount in this line of work.
Yeah, I mean,
While there seems to be no solid evidence for a one-to-one pay-for-good review system in the industry, gray areas certainly do exist. Most publications depend on advertising from big brands to run their business, and they also depend on those same companies to give them access to their products so they can create their content. How are you going to do a launch day review if they don't give you the game?
This wasn't something that was even brought to my attention until I kind of got called into a room to talk about Ratchet & Clank Future, Tools of Destruction. There was some concern because there had been some pushback from the publisher with regards to pulling ad money because of that review. I didn't actually write the review, but I absolutely stood by it.
So, needless to say, many of these publications are reluctant to antagonize these companies. Notable examples of where this goes astray include Jeff Gerstmann's firing from GameSpot after a negative review of Kane and Lynch angered Eidos, while YouTuber Total Biscuit blew the whistle on a forced Shadow of Mordor brand deal regarding what he could and could not say.
For some reason, we got nothing back outside of one PR company that wanted to do a brand deal and said, well, yeah, we can give it to you early, but only if you sign this brand deal, which was a paid promotional video, basically.
While this might not be as shady as most of the comments on IGN articles will have you believe, it's still a very real issue facing the industry.
a lot of YouTubers do it. They get sponsored to talk about a game. So long as it's disclosed and upfront with the audience, that's fine. It's a reality of the business now.
Number 4. Microtransactions and DLC.
You lose all your energy and whoops, you can't play the game at all for a few hours, unless you pay to do it.
Gone are the days when you could get a full game for a one-off payment of $60. Microtransactions and DLC began as a way to ensure steady flow of cash for mobile games, but it has slowly trickled into the mainstream products that you already have paid a significant amount for.
You don't want to hear about that, Vault Hunter. I'm Torque, and I'm here to ask you one question and one question only. Explosions!
It's clearly one of the only ways that freemium games can ever hope to be profitable, but it feels kinda cheeky for EA and other big companies to keep asking you for money.
Assassin's Creed Unity's item unlocks are pretty much as far as micropayments will go in the game. So to be honest, it really doesn't seem like a bad thing in my opinion. As long as players can still get these items without paying, I don't really mind.
It's often a treat to get a new piece of content for a game you love, but when finished features are deliberately held back to go in DLC, the concept strays into considerably murky waters. Everyone agrees that it's fine to pay more to get more, but many people feel as if they're paying more up front just to get less.
Like this monocle here. As of the time of this recording, that monocle costs $70. I wish I was making that up.
Number 3. The console versus PC debate.
You console peasants have facts to face, facts to face, have facts to face. You can't compare to that master race, the master race will fuck your face.
No doubt you've heard about the PC master race or the ongoing argument between PS4 and Xbox One fans. These conflicts may seem superfluous, but they represent large subcultures of the gaming community, and their points of view should not necessarily be ignored.
Everyone fights in the console wars. We don't like ours,
but we sure hate yours. It's Xbox One versus PS4, let the bodies hit the floor.
Every platform has its pros and cons, but the passion with which each faction defends their corner is kind of admirable. The PC fans may be a tad more elitist than the other parties, but it ultimately boils down to personal preference as to what side of the discussion you fall on.
Just ignore him and he'll go away.
Peasants, I bring news! Join me in PC gaming and ascend to godhood!
While many AAA games now release with acceptable ports for major consoles and PC, some exceptions always seem to slip through the cracks, and boy, oh boy, do people get upset when it's their system that does so.
Don't they run on the Windows or something?
The thing is... yeah...
Number 2, violent content.
Blooded Murder is making Mortal Kombat the most popular video game in history. Kids relish their victory and their bloody choice. Should they pull out their opponent's heart, or simply rip his head off just to see his spinal cord dangle in a pool of blood?
It's one of the oldest criticisms leveled at video games, and one that persists to this day. While there are a handful of instances of violent crimes being linked to playing games, there is little evidence that consistent exposure to violent video games will lead to violent criminal behavior.
He trained on Super Columbine Massacre, an internet-based game, and also Postal 2. So the common denominator...
We'll find out. I'm not against any theories until they're proven or disproven. Let's see if this bears to be true.
Although other forms of media have graphically portrayed violence for years, the interactive aspect of gaming and the new, ever-evolving nature of the medium makes it a far easier target for such accusations. Part of this definitely stems from the fact that video games have a huge appeal to younger demographics. But then again, anyone will tell you that you're supposed to stop children from seeing violent movies and TV. Why would you not stop them from consuming other forms of violent content too? Most gamers simply feel like there's an unfair double standard when it comes to violence in their favorite medium. Before we reveal our top pick, let's have a look at some honorable mentions.
Why? I mean, it would have been nice to have won, but hey, you win some, you lose some, right?
Well, I don't know much about all that, but as long as you can fit into that chicken suit, the job is yours.
Clear your calendars, because Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Awakening is available on February 2nd, first on PlayStation 4.
Number 1, Sexism and Gamergate.
All you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You are the ones who are the ball lickers.
All you have to do is scroll down to the comment section of any article that even remotely touches on one of these issues, and you'll immediately agree that this is the most incendiary topic in the industry today. Whatever your stance may be, you probably know that it's impossible to voice your opinion on this topic without being called a misogynistic bigot or a libtard social justice warrior. So, if you want to avoid being doxxed, swatted, threatened with rape, DDoS'd, or simply bombarded with vitriol, it may be best to steer clear. If, after all that, you simply must be heard on this matter, then prepare to hear what everyone else has to say about it too.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Do you agree with our list?
You're just walking in here, no one even asked for you to show up and give your opinion, but you f***ing did it anyway, you prick! Hey, just 'cause my dick's bigger than yours, my dick was biggest last year!
Which video game controversy makes you want to take to the forums and add your flavor to the argument? For less controversial top 10s, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
But guys, it's not about dispassionately comparing stats to crown a winner. It's about the games.